What's up, my bird guys? So today we're going to be doing the power steering lines on the E34. New lines right here. Ended up buying these on Amazon since they were the more affordable lines I could buy. So we're going to start by unbolting this and then undoing that line that goes down and into the abyss. And we'll get the car in the air and then we'll go from there. All right, before we do anything, actually, I'm gonna be undoing the battery because I might have to jack the motor off or I might have to remove the alternator. So either way, I'm gonna disconnect the power in case I have to remove the alternator. What's up, birdies? So I was trying to pull out the power steering reservoir and noticed that my car has 4 power steering lines going to it instead of 2. So I did some research because I was kind of confused as to what was going on, and apparently the ASC means I've got this extra little line on my pump that runs over here or whatever to a filter. So I'm actually going to probably pull this bolt and then cut this line, weld it, and then put that back on and just delete the whole system so I can only run the 2 return and the pressure in the return line and just simplify the system. So we're gonna cut this and then cap everything, cut the other hoses on top, and get to pulling out these lines. Alright, birdies, so we've got these lines undone, so we're gonna end up just capping these off for the meantime. And then we got some new hose to replace this one since this is all dry rotted anyway. We did have some residual hose that was stuck here, so I scraped it off, but we're gonna cap these and then we're gonna continue on with replacing the other hose. So I'm going to continue flipping out these lines for the ASC. I don't believe I need to cap anything off, so because all it's doing is taking away all the fluid that's going to it, and then all these lines. So I believe so long as I cut them and keep everything disconnected, we should be all right. So we're going to just cut them all out and see what she does. Alright, birds, so we cut it up there. You can see. And it used to come down around here. Followed, went over and over. Yeah, it came right through there, followed this rack, came over to this side. There had been a bracket right here with a filter. So, and then the line would come here and then wrap right to there. So, I mean, it just cleans it up so much. So, we're also going to be going over here. We're going to start pulling this alternator so I can gain access to these lines, because it's pretty tight in there. So we're going to remove the alternator quick, see what these lines look like, and hopefully get the new lines in and cross our fingers for no more leaks. Alright, birdies, so this is honestly kind of annoying. This is kind of a shitty job. Not fun getting dripped on by a bunch of power steering fluid and dealing with an alternator that barely squeaks out. But now we kind of have some room. I mean, not really, but there's one of the lines right there. So I'm gonna try and set it up so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but it's real tight in there, so I'm not sure what you guys are gonna be able to actually see. But yeah, so now we kind of got some room to work with, and we're gonna undo the retaining bolt over here. Get this loose so we can see. It looks like there's a banjo bolt down there and probably one over here, and that's what I'm gonna have fun with. I can tell you that right now. Might have to jack the motor up, not sure. Some people say you do. So depending on how much room I have, I may have to undo the motor mount and jack this side up to get more access to this. So I'm gonna try and set up the camera so you guys can see, and we'll go from there. In the dark, aren't we the same two peers in the dark? I can't tell you what is in the dark. Aren't we the same two peers in the dark? Oh, is in the dark. Aren't we the same two peers in the dark? That bolt removed and that line out of the way right there, you can actually get to the banjo bolt on top of the steering box. And then there's a clamp. You can just see it in the left hand corner. That clamp, that's the other end of that line. So I'm going to undo that banjo bolt, remove that line, and just get that line replaced while it's accessible. And then we will worry about the rest of that line. You can actually see the metal line for that right there going up that way and above that heat shield. So I got to figure out where the other end to that is, but while I have all this apart, I'm going to get access to that bolt and remove that line and replace it. Alright birdies, so we finally got this new line in right there, so that's tight. And then down here we got a brand new clamp, and that's all tight. So now we need to go ahead and figure out where the other end of that goes, and then we can undo that, get that line out replaced, and put the other line in, and put the rest of her together and test her out and see if the power steering still works and if she leaks. So we ended up having some fun. There is a metal heat shield that goes on top of that power steering pump, and it goes this way actually. So there's one nut there, and then two nuts here. Well, this is the back nut, but then that goes on this bracket. So there's two nuts. You can see there's the back nut right there in front of that power steering line. Let's see if I can zoom in. And then there's the other nut right there. Then underneath that cover is the last banjo bolt right on top, and that's the last bolt for the line. And then you can pull out that line. So we got that line out. So now we're going to be putting the new line in, put that heat shield back on, and then we can put the car back up in the air and put the last new line in, do the bottom banjo fittings for those lines as well, and hopefully get some power steering fluid in this thing and see what she does. So I've gotten all the upper lines installed. The one thing that really sucked was getting the metal heat shield back on. I was able to drop it in, but then I had to go under the car to kind of snake it through. And then I bolted it all up and then installed that. And then, so right now we've got both new lines up top here, all installed. So I'm gonna go underneath the car. We'll get the rest of the banjo bolts tightened up and put the alternator back in. So we got the new line. We're gonna be reusing the crush washers because the new hose did not come with the right size for whatever reason. So we're gonna snake this up and in. Alright birdies, so we got the alternator in, we've got everything tight. We're going to take this and we're going to make our delete fitting. What's up birdies? So we got this new piece of hose already on the reservoir. That way when we slide it into its home, we can just put this onto the other end of the oil cooler. And then this new hose we're actually gonna have to trim because this is a different style of reservoir because it did have these other fittings. But we're gonna go ahead, get this dropped in there. Birdies. So after running it a little bit and turning it side to side, haven't found any leaks on it, didn't see any drips underneath. So we're gonna run her down to the self-service wash. We're gonna power wash her real good, and then let her dry, and then we'll keep an eye on her, see what happens with the leaks. Hopefully we solved all the problems. So we'll catch you at the car wash, guys.